It's a big dog playing poker as Mastiff takes on Devlin in the main event. Gentlemen, raise your beverages. It is an NXT party.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 67 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And we have a brand new guest this morning. We had him as a brand new guest yesterday morning, and the live show didn't quite work out. We did the entire show just on Ghost, basically.
It wasn't fun. But actually, it was fun. It was a great show.
If you've caught some of our shows live in the chat room, we have a great friend, and our great friend decided to do the show finally. And like we tell you, if you want to do a show, if you want to review NXT UK, just let us know, and we will get you on the screen. Mark's Reviews is here with us. We call him the Griff.
Yes, the Griff.
The Griff. What's
Mark
up,
Griffin.
baby? I don't know. I'm excited to be on here. I'm glad to actually get this one out there. So let's see what it is.
Absolutely, because this was a damn excellent show of the NXT UK.
Yeah, I am so glad we get to do a retake here.
Yeah,
because
it was so low energy this morning. I think because we were so worried about like if the show was even recording that
it was hard to put your 100 in.
Yeah, it was hard. But this time around, we're a little more rested. I got 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, if you are subscribed to our channel, Aftermatch Wrestling, that's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch, space, Wrestling.
You're the fucking space.
Go find us there and subscribe. We want to get to 1,000 so we can skip all the bullshit and just go live on my phone. But in order to do that, I need 1,000 subscribers. And we tried to go live on the laptop, and if you are subscribed and you've got the bell icon clicked, it might have told you that we went live, but you would have just gotten a picture of the title belt that I've got as the...
It said, "We will be with you shortly," which is a lie.
For like an hour's worth of show that we did. And again, it was low energy, so maybe this is the better option. Anyway, we start the show getting us hyped for the main event. And I said this last night, and I will say this again. It's worth saying again. Worth the fucking wait.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I was not expecting much out of Jordan Devlin and Dave Mastiff, knowing that we were getting this match this week, and then they said it was the main event, and I'm like, oh shit. This is either going to be another train wreck episode. And I say that loosely, but the last few episodes have been very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Or they did really well with this match. They did really well with that match. We're going to start the night off, though, with the tag team match we knew we were getting tonight. The women's tag team match. Piper Niven and Rhea Ripley are going to face Ginny and Jazzy Gabbert. And we've seen this coming for a few weeks now. And was strikingly a better match than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
It's going to be the theme of the night, folks. Strikingly better matches. Worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Before I break down a few notes here, Mark, your thoughts on the opening match?
I thought it was great. I love anything Rhea Ripley does anyway. That's and it seems like
hop in the boat, son.
The good thing is anything she does, I'm a fan of. She shows amazing strength. I think the way in the opening match where I think it was Gabber, she lifted up on her shoulders, I think it was, and walked up the steps. I mean, that just shows you right there. She's amazing in the ring. The match was great. I was looking forward to it. So, like I said, anything with Ripley in, I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, good match.
She actually lifted Jenny. If she lifted Jazzy Gabbert up those stairs, holy shit! I probably would have shit myself.
Well, Piper Niven lifted Jazzy Gabbert.
Yeah.
They finished this match with a Michinoku driver from Piper Niven onto Jazzy Gabbert, and that was impressive. That was something that Piper Niven can do that not a lot of girls, maybe anybody other than Rhea Ripley, could probably do on Jazzy Gabbert.
Yeah.
And these are the things we need to be seeing out of Piper Niven, not her trying to do fast-paced moves that she's landing improperly.
Yeah, because a lot of that ends up looking sloppy and botched, and she needs to look more dominant in the ring than anything else.
I've said it a half dozen times. Her moveset is almost directly a Dave Mastiff moveset, and she doesn't need to have that, at least not currently. I don't think she is quick enough to follow through, especially that running crossbody. We've just seen very awkward, very gasp-inducing moments of her landing that, and you're like, is the other person going to get up? Or did we just witness them get injured?
I was about to say that their lower half actually just become completely numb for the rest of their lives.
Other than the Niven win, my only other notes are of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And my first one here is her consummate double lariats, where she picks the person up by the arm and knocks him down. Picks him up by the arm, holds on, knocks him down. Picks up Jenny again, and then pulls her into a ripcord just to let the ripcord go, much in the dance style of the tango. So we've called this the yo-yo tango. Clothesline. So for the third clothesline, just, a Rhea thing. It's just kind of beautiful, man. Watching her dance with Jenny. And then she takes a hard bump, though. Earlier in the match, I think she went for a suicide dive, didn't get it off. So at this point, she's going for a tope con hilo over the top rope. Lands it on both Jenny and Jazzy, but when she comes down, it was like a power bomb. And she whacks her head at the bottom of the ring, like at the bottom of the ring skirt. And I'm pretty sure there's a metal bar that goes across there.
It was almost like the world's worst stage dive. So...
Yeah. Scary, but she got right back up.
With me, the star of the match, as always, in this kind of situation, was Jenny. Because Jenny pulls off some pretty insane shit on these women that are about at least 50 pounds heavier than her. She's actually pulls off an octopus stretch type maneuver on Rhea Ripley that we didn't get to touch on, and was just also still dragging the nails up her at the same time. I'm like, that's gotta be painful.
What was it called? The Black Widow? It was almost a Black Widow, but she had the arm extended straight.
Kind of like an abdominal stretch / Black Widow kind of thing.
And then, as you said, she raked her nails down the arm. And I don't know if that's legal or not. Like, I have no idea. I know you can't rake the eyes.
As long as it's not raking the eyes, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's the equivalent of, like, pretty much a Walter chop to the chest and a scratch down the back from, like, one of the women wrestlers there.
It's going to leave a red mark on your skin.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be there for a while.
So yeah, Rhea takes a bad bump, gets right back up, throws Jazzy into the ring. Jazzy gets picked up by Piper Niven into a Michinoku driver. 1, 2, 3. The baby faces and Rhea Ripley, brand new baby face apparently.
Yeah.
They win the match, and Rhea gives the crowd gives the crowd over to Piper.
Yeah.
She says, "You got the win. Enjoy your moment." So Piper climbs the ropes, and Rhea goes up the ramp and gets the crowd cheering for Piper.
I think that's pretty much passed the torch. Like, you go ahead and do what you have to do here. I have some shit I'm doing here doing in America. I'll be back.
Yeah, she's going to go captain a team in the first women's War Games match.
Yes.
So,
Well deserved, too, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, debuting next is A-Kid, and we got this short video package for him right before the commercial, right before his debut, and he is facing Cassius Ohno. And I'm just sitting here like, waiting for, Cassius Ohno to put this new jobber kid into the ground. And for the most part, he works him over so well in the ring. He does this form of chain wrestling that is actually interesting to me because it's shit that I have not only never seen, would have never thought of to do.
This guy hates chain wrestling, or the catch as can style. If there's too much of it, he starts kind of drifting off and thinking of Velcro, cardboard boxes, things that are sticky. Pretty much anything that's going on in a match, he gives no shits.
Yeah, he starts the match off, I think, coming out of a collar elbow with this arm lock that he only uses one arm for, but uses what's his name? A-Kid's other arm to get one arm into an arm. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And why have I never seen that before? He just does this chain wrestling that's actually interesting and mostly dominates this whole match. But A-Kid gets a victory here, and I don't feel like it was necessarily... It was kind of dirty. It's kind of a dirty win. Before we break down the match, or before I do, what were your thoughts?
Well, we were wondering what the name A-Kid was all about anyway. And it turns out when he was wrestling in Spain, or Spain, he was like, he just needed a name, and after a while, Anonymous Kid, they were shouting.
I think he said his first match, he still couldn't come up with a name. And so he went out there without a name.
El Nino?
Yeah, the crowd was chanting Anonymous Kid to him.
Yep.
Well, what translates, I guess, as Anonymous Kid.
And sure enough, that's how the name stuck. But after this showing, the kid's not going to be anonymous anymore, because not only did he actually put on a decent match for Cassius Ohno, I think Ohno kind of carried him through it.
I mean, I was going to say credit to Cassius Ohno.
Credit to Cassius Ohno, because that's what he does. He's a wrestling genius. If you haven't figured that out yet, crawl back under whatever rock you're under, just learn more. But he ends up paying the ultimate price at the end of this match for, this stupid count-out victory he gets. And Cassius Ohno puts him in a cravat. 3 things you need to know about Cassius Ohno. 1, about 15 years ago, he is in much better shape. 2, anytime you put him into a match, it's going to be a damn good one, regardless. And 3, if he can put you in a cravat, he's going to. If he can put you in a cravat and do a rolling cutter, he's going to do that. If he needs to put a hurt on you, like making a submission move, he can do that too. He can put you to sleep, hold you in place for a tag team maneuver, what the fuck ever. He is the king of the cravat.
Yeah, but about 5 years ago, this is 4. 5 years ago, Cassius Ohno ate
Chris Hero. Yes.
And so now we are where we're at. It looks like he's getting his groove back, though.
Yeah.
How Cassius got his groove back.
I think the transfer over to the NXT UK has been helping him out immensely, because he was just kind of floundering in the regular NXT.
Yeah. So, Mark, how high were your expectations going into this match, and did they meet or exceed them?
And that's the thing. They were pretty high for this match, because I actually knew a little bit about A-Kid before tonight. I had seen a few of his matches. Of course, with Cassius Ohno, you know what you're going to get with him every time. He's your classic professional 9-to-5 blue-collar professional wrestler. You know what you're going to get every time. So putting him in the ring with A-Kid as a debut match on NXT, I thought was a great decision. I thought the match was excellent. Great work. I think A-Kid really showed out tonight. And as far as Cassius Ohno, even at his age, man, he showed his strength. I mean, you seen how he swung A-Kid like a rag doll. He literally picked him up, swung him out like he weighed 50 pounds soaking wet. So either way, it was a great match. I didn't really like the finish. The whole I think it was the count out thing. I think they could have done a better job as far as putting A-Kid over in his performance a little bit better. But either way, it's still a win. A win is a win. And like Jerry said, his name's not anonymous anymore. It's definitely A-Kid. His performance is definitely out there now. So.
Well, I'm not opposed to the count out victory, because I don't think they should have given him a pinfall or submission victory over Cassius Ohno in his first match.
Yeah.
That just disrespects Cassius Ohno and everything he's done over the last several months.
Statement, whatever statement they wanted to make as far as A-Kid does, though, I mean, I guess the counter doesn't really hurt him, but I mean, if they wanted to make some type of impact, I think a clean finish over Cassius Ohno, you know how big that would have been on his record. I think it really would have maybe pushed him a little bit more, but either way, I think it worked out good for him either way, so.
Well, he got the win. It's just, for me, it damages his character because it was kind of a shitty win. So they are on the outside for a 10 count, and it gets down to like 7 or 8, and that's when they realize they got to get back in the ring. So on their way back to the ring, at 9, A-Kid hits a 619 using the apron.
Tiger kick. Yeah.
And I call it 619 because that's what I know it as.
Yeah, I know.
He corrects me every time.
Tiger kick.
So he hits that that knocks Cassius Ohno back down and then rolls into the ring and he beats the 10 count, but Cassius Ohno can't because he just got kicked in the face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, win by all means necessary isn't something you want for a brand new baby.
I was about to say, it wasn't even a kick to the face probably to Cassius Ohno. It was more like a spit.
Whatever it was, it kept him from getting in the ring.
Yeah.
And so he takes exception to this and starts beating down A-Kid. But who comes to the rescue? Tyler Bate. The guy that we saw last week talking about how he was looking forward to the debut of A-Kid. So he comes out.
Mountain, man.
He goes for that Peter Pan lariat and Cassius Ohno ducks out of the way and gets out of dodge.
Yep.
And that ends that. After this, we're getting an interview backstage with Killer Kelly, and I don't know where the fuck Radzi is. He must still be at the door.
He's still at the door waiting for Tony Storm.
But Killer Kelly's back there, and she is now cleared to wrestle and to return to the ring. But it's clear to her that I guess NXT UK is getting busy, and in order to get a match in the ring, you got to pick a fight with somebody. And so she sees Isla Dawn go into the women's locker room. She says, I'm going to go do just that.
Mm-hmm. She didn't even say that. She just puts the mouth guard in and...
I'm going to pay the light bill.
Nice. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to get Killer Kelly versus Isla Dawn soon.
Probably next week.
I bet we'll get an announcement for it next week, and then we'll get it in 2 weeks.
They won't even announce it. It'll just be on next week. It'll be the opening bout.
You're so cynical, Jerry.
It's not cynical. It's actually kind of hopeful. I like the idea of Killer Kelly possibly getting a victory. Because we haven't seen her be victorious yet. And if she's going to get a victory on anybody, it's got to be Isla Dawn at this point. Everybody beats Isla Dawn.
Who do they want to push? I wouldn't want to push Isla Dawn just because her status does not reflect her gimmick.
No.
Or her gimmick doesn't reflect her status.
She has a great gimmick, but you can't tell if she's a heel or a face.
Well, she's a baby face with a heel gimmick.
And Killer Kelly, she's also got her connections to Ring Comp. So I'm thinking that's going to come into play after a while, too.
Well, Mark, let's say we do get this match next week out of nowhere. Do you have Killer Kelly or Isla Dawn with the victory?
I don't know what they're going to do with this one. I really don't. It's really 50-50. I mean, me personally, I'd like to see Killer Kelly get a win. Like Jerry said, be nice. Guess we'll see.
Coming off the promo, I think that would be good. That would actually propel her a little bit. If Isla Dawn gets the victory, what does that do for her?
Absolutely nothing.
It sort of balances her out from all the losses that she's got a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily push her. And Killer Kelly comes with the name, you know, gimmicks in the name. Let's see her be a killer. Go drag fucking Isla Dawn out of the locker room.
They're gonna need somebody with they've already got somebody with the power and almost like the presence of Rhea Ripley, but they don't have somebody with like the killer instinct and almost like Kurt Angle type tendencies that Killer Kelly has. So it'd be nice to finally see her get pushed.
All right, our second match of the night. No, our third, actually.
Yep, third.
Holy shit, it goes by fast. We actually get 4 matches and an in-ring promo, so they continue to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
We have Big Wavy Roy Johnson versus Joseph Connors.
Easily the greatest name on the planet.
Easily. They make note that Joseph Connors is undefeated in the last 4 months, and my note is I'm pretty sure 2 of those months he just hasn't wrestled. So
yeah,
he's probably got like 3 wins over the last 4 months.
That's like saying I'm undefeated in the ring and only had wrestled like 1 match.
I think the 4 months started the night after his last loss, not the day of his next victory. Anyway, this was a fun match.
Yes, it was.
And I don't have a lot of notes, but mostly because I was just watching the match. Big Wavy Johnson is not green in the ring at all. He is fun to watch. He's got his own mannerisms. He sells quite well, and apparently so does Joseph Connors. And it may not be a great match necessarily, but I really enjoyed it.
It was a great mid-card match is what it was, because Joseph Connors is a great mid-card talent.
There were some spots in here where I thought they were actually going to sort of debut this guy, this Roy Johnson, with a win over Joseph Connors, who is coming off of a string of victories and really should be continuing the momentum, especially against a guy that hasn't wrestled here yet. Any surprise to you that Roy Johnson did not get the victory, Mark?
A little bit, to be honest with you. I actually, if you asked me who was going to win that match, I probably would have went with him, honestly, but it didn't turn out that way. But either way, it was a fun match. I enjoyed the match. Like you said, I really don't have too many notes from that match either. It just it came and went, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that one.
Well, my favorite spot here was Joseph Connors taking Johnson to the ring post and doing that stretch, that I guess bow and arrow stretch across the ring post from the outside, getting his 3 or 4 count or whatever, but then going inside and doing a running basement drop kick into him, into the post 3 times. Got the hat trick out of it. Toward the end of the match, Johnson goes for a last set, is what they called it. I don't know how he was going to finish it. It was like a fireman's carry, but I guess he was going for his finisher. But Connors goes for the eyes, like he rakes the eyes, gets himself out of it, and somehow gets Johnson down and does that reverse neck snap that is just awesome.
It's
and the
quick
don't look down.
and it's efficient.
He announces to the crowd, "Don't look," and then drops him on the down. This was probably the loudest the crowd was when they said down, because for the entire match it just seemed like Connors was having a conversation
with Nigel Diaz.
Nigel up at the he just yelled at him at one point, "Am I good enough now?" And Nigel responded back on commentary, and it's just that was a note for this. As good as this show was, the crowd was dead by this point. The main event got them back on their feet, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this was a good. Jerry, how did you like the match?
I thought it was great. Kind of sucks that Big Wavy Johnson didn't win. He kind of got stiffed on that one. We're kind of hard up.
Any more of them jokes, Jer?
I'll come up with more as we see the guy.
Okay. Any notes on the match other than dad jokes?
No, I think we nailed them all.
So, as I mentioned, we do get an in-ring promo during this show, and thank God that wasn't the main event. Not to say that Kaylee Ray couldn't pull off a main event promo, but I don't think anybody can pull off a main event promo. That's just sad to end the show on that. But anyway, Kaylee Ray comes to the ring, and she says she should have a better welcome, I think, because she brings a brighter day to the crowd.
Yep.
But even brighter day because Tony Storm isn't here.
I think that was weather humor, really. It's I'm bringing you a brighter day. There's not a storm cloud in sight.
So Tony Storm is still absent, and this is the point where I'm like, okay, so we're going to hear Tony Storm's music, but nope, still absent. After basically saying she beat Tony Storm for the title and sent her packing.
With not a friend in the world.
She calls out Xia Brookside for her promo last week, accusing her of not only stealing or taking the the opportunity at the Women's Championship from her, but stealing it. And she says she's not a thief, she's just smart.
Yep.
She's not a cheater, is what she said. And I guess this is, again, setting up for a match between her and Xia Brookside, although nothing has been announced. And surely not a title match, do you think?
No. So, Mark, what's the percent chance of, Xia Brookside even winning this match?
0.
None.
That man. I mean, I like Kaylee. I mean, I think this is actually one of her more believable promos I've ever seen her do. But I liked it. I mean, and I really think she's gonna retain when the match is finally announced, because that's what direction you're going to. So.
It's hard to get this guy to applaud anything, and he was actually clapping at the end of the Kaylee Ray segment. So that says a lot.
It does.
So when you can actually get one of us to be like, beautiful, nice.
Yeah, very well done. It was. It's just not for a match that I'm really necessarily looking forward to.
Yeah.
As much as they've been trying to get, and mind the pun, Xia Brookside off the ground, because she runs around the ring with airplane wings. Anyway, as much as they've been trying to get her off the ground, I haven't seen that juxtaposed into the ring. She just doesn't impress me in the ring.
Juxtapose.
Literally the first word, I don't know why, literally the first word that meant the same thing I was trying to get across came to mind. I was like, just go with it, man. Juxtaposed.
You napped.
The benefits of doing a second show, I guess.
Yep.
After this, we have an announcement for next week. We are getting up close with Piper Niven, and I put up close in quotation marks. I don't know what that means, but we're getting it next week.
Probably more backstory as if we need it.
Like they were trying to do on Dave Mastiff, and it didn't work out.
Oh yeah, because Dave Mastiff had daddy issues.
Yeah, he had daddy issues.
That we never heard about any more about afterwards.
Yeah, they listened to us on that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. What are you hoping to get out of a new segment called Up Close? And in this case with Piper Niven, Mark?
It's hard to tell. Something that's going to grab my attention, because I'm not really a Piper fan anyway, but anything that's going to grab my attention and make me 100% invested, I'll be on board with, I think. So.
Word.
Oh, that's the whole idea, I'm pretty sure, to set the next feud, because I think she's going to be done with Jenny and Jazzy Gabbert for right now.
I think this is just them continually trying to get her over despite their best efforts.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. Getting Rhea Ripley out of NXT UK for a while probably would help, because her first big feud was with Rhea Ripley, and it was 50-50 booking, and now it's just like, compared to Rhea Ripley, she still just doesn't seem like she's main event.
But,
no.
Between...
She doesn't bring that star power for me. But
between that last match and hopefully some backstory and possibly setting up something else, she may be in the right direction finally.
So we get Gallus outside for a promo, and they are talking directly to Imperium. And again, they mention, this is our kingdom, you're just living in it.
Yep.
And they announce, first and foremost, next week we're going to get the return of Joe Coffey into the ring. Don't know who his opponent's going to be, but that's happening. Awesome.
10-1 odds, it's Oliver Carter. Or maybe Ashton Smith.
The jobber's jobber.
Yeah.
No Jack Stars.
Actually, I think Ashton Smith versus Joe Coffey is the first match we ever got. Something along the lines of that.
What'd you get out of this promo by Gallus, Mark?
I'm 100% sold on Gallus. I like Gallus anyway. I've never heard a promo that left me doing Daniel Bryan's Yes Chant by myself more than after I watched this promo. I'm more excited now for their feud with Imperium more than ever. I mean, I just think, man, when they speak, people listen, man. They do. Like when I look at them in the camera, I believe everything that man says. And after that promo that I seen last night, like I said, I'm more excited about the Imperium feud, and I'm more excited to see. Well, I'm not going to get into the next segment, but I'm decided to see on a certain decision that I guess we'll talk about in a second. But either way, I like Gallus, man. I do.
Yeah, let's go ahead and broach that now, because that actually comes as a last-second segment after the main event. In the back, we end up with Alexander Wolf and Ilya Dragunov, and the lady, whatever her name is, the new interview lady, she tries to approach them to get a word about what they're talking about, and Alexander Wolf begs her off. He's like, I just want to have a word with my friend here. And he tells him he needs to make up his mind about Imperium, because Imperium can take his career to new places, something like that. Yep. He's trying to sell Imperium, and it's become obvious that he's trying to recruit him to Imperium, and Ilya hasn't decided yet. And is it going to happen?
I talked about it this morning, and there's two routes this could take, and either one I'm going to be happy with. One, he rejects the invitation, Imperium beats the hell out of him, and he ends up helping Gallus, and he becomes like the fourth person in this war, so it's 4-on-4 against them. Or two, it actually does come to fruition that he actually is in a group, but he infiltrates Gallus as like a decoy kind of thing. But then we end up getting him and Wolf as NXT UK tag champs, and Eichner and Bartel as NXT tag champs, and Walter as the WWE United Kingdom champion. So all members of Gallus, or not Gallus, Imperium, would have belts. And that would be insane. It'd be tracksuits and belts every week.
Well, from the get-go, from the start of the inklings of this feud, we wanted to see, at the very least, Eichner and Bartel versus Mark Coffey and Wolfgang for the titles, so that we can get the tag team championships on Imperium as well.
Yeah.
I guess we just are enjoying so much the gold prophecy on NXT with the Undisputed Era that we just want to see it repeated here, man.
Yeah.
And we need desperately the European Championship to complete that.
Yeah.
So
join us
as we continue to tweet Triple H and ask for the European Championship on NXT UK. Just do that for us, please.
Mid-card belt. It doesn't have to be European. They can name it something else.
No.
But I think it'd be just as well if they brought the North American title over there and rechristened it, because it looks more like it'd be a belt for the UK than it would be for America.
No, it needs to be the European Championship. It makes too much sense for it not to be.
Do we get the next announcement?
Well, I was just going to say about Imperium, like, my thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't feel like 5 is the right number.
Yeah.
So if he does join Imperium, then Eichner is gone.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to see that either. I would rather see him join Gallus for some god-awful reason. But still, it ended up being 4-on-4, and maybe at the next NXT UK takeover, we'll see War Games as well.
Yeah.
Or something completely different.
That's what I'm hoping for. Also, is the fact that it'll be a 4-on-4 War Games match. It'll be like mid-card for NXT War Games.
Even if they just make it 4-on-4 tag match inside a steel cage, that would be something new for NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've seen a steel cage match yet. Have we?
No, we haven't.
We have not.
Because we have not mentioned the awesome steel cage on NXT
UK. As you alluded to a moment ago, we do get one more announcement before the main event. Next week, we are going to see the tag team match that we've all been dying to see again. Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus the grizzled young veterans, Zach Gibson, James Drake.
Yep.
And do they do 50-50 booking here, or do we see the South Wales subculture get another victory and move on towards getting the titles back?
Mark, put your stake on it.
I think 50-50 booking is out the window with this one. I really think their time to build Mark Webster and Flash Gordon is now. I mean, I think with a credible win over Grizzled Young Veterans will really start to cement them as being more credible, because I think they thought that it was a fluke in Cardiff, and I thought everybody thought they were going to drop it quick, which they did. And I think now they're going to reposition themselves, and I think they'll be good. I think they're going to win.
Well, not only did they drop them quick, but they didn't drop them right back to the Grizzled Young Veterans, because they had their match and they lost. And this is essentially the rematch, only not for titles, because they don't have the titles anymore.
Right.
I would give the victory to the South Wales subculture, because, like you said, this is the time to build them. You don't give them all the momentum you've given them just for them to lose the titles and then lose a match and go off into obscurity. Instead, the Grizzled Young Veterans were the inaugural champs. They held them forever, and they can stand the loss and the fact that they just can't beat those two.
Yeah.
And go into something, maybe somewhere where they turn face. Because I swear the crowd is just ready to start chanting, "If you love Zach Gibson, shoes up."
Yep.
They're ready for it. But yeah, I'm agreeing. I think Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster win. Jerry?
What I would find really interesting at this point is for it to be a no contest. And because, like, have either both teams, like, counted out or whatnot, or have Imperium come out there for no apparent reason, or even, you know, Gallus come out there, but it'd probably be Imperium first, and then Gallus comes in and intrudes.
So Bartel and Eichner come out and get a no contest on the match, take out both teams, and then Gallus comes out and attacks them, or just Mark Andrews and Wolfgang, and then we end up with a fatal four-way for the titles.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would not object to that. Hell, make it a ladder match.
Ladder match. Cooler. There you go.
A Four Corners ladder match for the NXT UK Tag Championship.
I'm on board with that.
Yep.
So that brings us to the main event. Like we said, worth the wait. Dave Mastiff and Jordan Devlin put on one hell of a fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the size difference was going to bring this match down. Honestly, this was another match that well exceeded my expectations. And before I break it down, I got a lot of notes, a lot of spots. Let's see. Mark, yeah, you're the guest, and it's the main event. What were your thoughts?
I love the match. I was surprised, definitely surprised. It's definitely one that made me look up to the screen, that's for sure, because I really didn't think Devlin was going to pull it off, to be honest with you. I really didn't. I was shocked. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, I feel like Devlin has some of the best selling in NXT UK. I don't think anybody can sell better than Devlin. I can't remember exactly what move it was. I think it was the Roland, the Roland Senton into the turnbuckle.
The running cannonball into the void.
Into the void, yeah.
After he did that, Devlin stretched. He was laid out and he was stretched across I think he was ready to fall off the end of the ring there. But either way, the selling was incredible. It was definitely believable.
Yeah, that's one of the notes in my, I put down, literally wrote down that he melted out of the ring. Because after taking the into the void, he pulls himself sort of into the apron, or onto the apron to, be by the ropes, be harder to pin, and then just proceeds to melt over the corner of the ring and just onto the floor.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit. But that tells you that Dave Mastiff isn't going to get the pinfall off of the finisher this time.
Mm-hmm.
So the match is going to continue. So I dug it. Yeah, he sold that brilliantly. Any other notes?
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. Jerry, your notes on the main event.
Oh, for me, I knew it was going to be a great main event because they both had something to prove. They were both showing that they are both deserving to be number one contender for the belt. That was a huge one. And then, two, the fact that just both of them were great talents in their own ways. Jordan Devlin is so over in this company, it's frightening. He's, in my opinion, the top guy there. Forget Walter at this point. Walter's needs assistance lately to even keep his belt. He needs people around. Jordan Devlin, I'm pretty sure you get him a title, he'll run with it for as long as humanly possible without any assistance whatsoever. But Mastiff, if anybody's going to pull a good match out of Dave Mastiff, who's kind of meat and potatoes, very Vader-esque, because we actually talked about that earlier as well with Mark here, is the fact that his moveset is kind of basic. It's very just power moves and granted a lot of moves that you wouldn't really see out of a guy that's 320 pounds, but he pulls off effortlessly and they always end up looking great. So
yeah, he's able to pull off the moveset, and what's her name? Piper Niven is not.
Yeah,
that's the difference. My notes just, oh god. So the story of this match, and everybody that knows me knows I love a story in a match where you don't have to say fucking anything and you just tell the story of the match. The story of this match is Jordan Devlin working over Dave Mastiff's left arm.
Yeah.
He starts it with this arm twist into where, he pulls him down onto the mat for a slam and then just goes from there. He has this short arm short arm scissors with his leg on for a minute and a half, just the longest of times. And Mastiff sells it for a while, but then just picks him up, and instead of doing the power bomb off of it, he does the deadlift and then back body drops him, which was friggin' awesome. But again, Devlin just keeps working over the arm. Eventually, he goes for that Devlin side, and so that tells you why he's working over the arm, so that he can just pull him up into that back body drop. And can't hit it. Instead, Mastiff counters with a jumping headbutt into Devlin, who counters that back with a headbutt of his own. But then what does Mastiff hit? Something. Oh yeah, he whips him over into the ropes or into the corner, and Devlin just goes up and over to the outside, where Dave follows him and hits a rolling senton onto the outside mat that just looks like, and the announcers even said, it looks like it broke one of Devlin's ribs. Just, man, he's got squashed.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the match, Devlin has been pulling Dave Mastiff's arm over that top rope, and he gets another spot here, jumps into the ring for that springboard cutter, gets a near fall, goes up top, hits a moonsault, gets a near fall, decides to do it again. General rule number 4. If at first your move succeeds, for the love of God, do not try and do it again. Don't go to the well twice.
That's general knowledge right there.
Instead of hitting the moonsault, he hits Dave Mastiff's feet with his chin, which springs him like a slinky over into the corner and sets him up perfectly for the Into the Void. And that's where Dave Mastiff hits it, and he melts onto the outside. So Mastiff doesn't get the pinfall here. Instead, he goes to take him up to the top rope in the corner. And
gets up with a fireman's carry.
Yeah, he's going to go for that rolling senton off the middle rope. Instead, Devlin sees it coming. He wiggles out of it and kicks Dave Mastiff in the head. And while he's dazed, sitting on the top rope, Devlin pulls him right into a Devlin side. Rolls right over top of him into the pinfall.
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
We don't say rolls over in this case, because this was not a lazy thing. This was pretty much perpetual motion.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a float over and a half. The sheer force of Mastiff hitting that ring sent him up like double bounce off a trampoline.
Yeah.
Right onto him.
Like when your asshole friend jumps on a trampoline just in time to land before you do, and you fucking fall off
the double jump, yeah.
Yeah. And, so he gets the pinfall. And so not only does it tell the story from beginning a match to end of working over the arm for a purpose and figuring out how to put... Because for the whole match, you're just like, how the fuck is Jordan Devlin going to put the devil inside on this giant fucking dude? Now it also tells you that he could do it to Walter, too.
Yep.
Walter occasionally goes up top for that splash. And you can catch him up there, and you can fucking do it.
Support! No DQ!
That brings us to the end of the main event, and here on the NXT party, we like to rate the main event using good old-fashioned NXT. And as our special guest, new member to the NXT team, Mark, out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate this main event?
I'd like to give it a 5, man. I really would. As much as I was invested in it and the outcome and the whole body of work, I'd like to give it a 5, but I think I'm just going to stick with probably about 4.5 if I can even do that. I hate to even split it up like that, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can give it a 5, and I wouldn't feel right leaving it at a 4, so probably about a 4.5 I'd go with, honestly.
Jerry?
I was going to say 4.25, and then like add the other quarter for the great show in general. So a lot of stuff went on in this match. Like we had your story, we had, granted it was a short feud, but it was a feud that needed to happen. It's one that people have been clamoring for. They needed to have that, definition of like, who is the better performer in the ring, who is going to be pushed harder, and resoundingly, it is Jordan Devlin. I mean, yeah, look at the first NXT takeover at this point too. They took out Banks and brought in Finn Balor, and that match was great.
Yeah, I would start this as just barely a great... Because like I said, everything on this show was strikingly better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Including this match, especially this match. And so I would say it was great, but just great. So I started at a 4, and I'm going to give it an extra quarter star just for the story that they told on the arm, and how the fuck is Devlin going to hit that Devlin side. And it paid off. And he won the match. And so, yeah, I'm going to give an extra quarter for that, and an extra quarter off the back of a great show. I'm going to agree with the both of you at 4.5 spots.
Yes!
NXT.
You gotta love that kind of unity, people.
So we've got the hat trick. So that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT Party. Thank you for joining us. And if you would like to join us on a future episode of the NXT Party, come be on the big screen where our friend Mark's Reviews is. Like we said, just let us know. Watch the show, have Skype, and do the show with us.
Yep.
And we'll get you on. But before we drop our plugs, what about your plugs, sir?
You can get a hold of me, Mark's Reviews. That's the YouTube channel, Mark's Reviews. What else can we got here? Mark Griffith, Facebook. You can get a hold of me on Ashley Reynolds. That's my girl's page, and trust me, she was pissed about me having to get up at 1:30 in the morning to come do this. So either way, I'm not gonna miss it for the world. You guys know that. So I had fun. So we'll see. We'll do this again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
You've been a great co-host, so thank you.
So yeah, that's how you get on the big screen. Or you can leave a comment down below with an email address. That's how we got Chris Mace on the show. And he does the show all the time. So
he does lots of shows now.
If you like NXT UK and you want to review it with us, just hit us up, man. We will get you on the big screen. You can find me on Twitter at nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR exclamation point. And you join us there. We have memes, discussions, general tomfoolery. It's great people though. I got rid of like 11 over the weekend.
Yeah, he doesn't play around. Like if you're not active, then why be in the group? So he'll kick you out. But his group, his rules.
Mhm.
That's where you find us on Facebook. Don't add us. We won't add you unless you become a member of the NXT team. Then we'll add you to Facebook and we'll add you to the NXT team chat.
Mhm.
So there you go. You can also find me on Instagram at osborne.stefan, where I have no content. I have a profile picture and that's it. But if you want to follow me, I think it's funny, man.
It'd be great if it was like a grilled cheese sandwich.
I'm halfway to 100. I'm halfway to triple digits. Like, that's crazy. Like, I have nothing. But thanks for following me, honestly. That's crazy. And if you are this far along in the video, maybe you want to help out the show. Like, I just got a Chromacast screen, a green screen. That costs money. Like, improving the show costs me money here and there. And if you want to help out, I now have a Patreon. So you can find me at Stefan R. Osborne on Patreon. And if you want to...
He's going to put the videos over there so you can just stream it in the background. Get our views up.
This stuff is definitely not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. And I don't even know if I subscribe to Mark's Reviews. I only got, I think, like 6 subscribers. You could be number 7. So, I just started it. I don't even have any content on there like Stefan. So either way,
we're trying to get the channel to be monetized.
Put the link in the video down there in the comments, and people will
there you go. Just link it down in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get the channel, the Aftermatch Wrestling, to be monetized, but that takes 1,000 subscribers. So if you don't, if you can't help me on Patreon or anything like that with the show, like, help me get monetized, where I can get a couple of bucks a month so I can start paying off the green screen and shit. Like, just share the show on your, just a couple of clicks. Just share us on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. And if you have any friends that like NXT UK, maybe they'll like watching this bullshit about it. You can find this show first on Aftermatch and then on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel. Aaron Rift, NoDQ. So yeah, wherever you find the show, you can find us on Aftermatch. And subscribe, click the bell icon. We're going to try and take this show live. We did try it and we failed. I'm going to figure out how to do that. If it takes 1,000 subscribers, then maybe we just have to wait. But it'd be a lot easier to just do it from the phone.
Speaking of Aaron Rift, NoDQ.com
/merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has shirts and such and hats now.
Yeah, he gave me the platform to even have a channel. So go help him out. That's what he does for a living. So help him out. And other than that, I think that's all the plugs.
Yep.
Sweet. So
that's it.
For the Griff, Mark Griffith. Sorry. For the General Jerry Slaughter, I'm the Wizard of NoDQ, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.